like Yummies, but level 12. I was like, please stop with these big monsters.
And then on the other side of the table, we've got an old favorite, RYZEAL Mitsu. It's okay. I think this is the first Mitsurugi we've had today. So I'm quite excited for this. This is one of my favorite decks to actually watch play because of just how intricate some of these turns can be. And obviously it's why it's one of the best decks over the last few months. But let's see who's going first. It is the Super Heavy Samurai. Again, this is going back a little bit. Back to what, 2023?
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, Wakashi, one of the best cards I've ever seen in this game as well, I would say.
Yeah, Wakashi for pendulums, even for synchros, was just so incredible. And it's kind of interesting to see when you looked at Super Heavy Samurais or this particular kind of small package, itself is one of the, I would say, one of the most underrated like packages or engines for a long time, because you kind of go back to the adventure package. That was something that was put in a lot of decks that was utilized, and then the Super Heavy Samurais kind of came out, and it wasn't as versatile, but it was still incredibly good, and that was then utilized. And now we look at the modernized kind of engines, packages. You've got K9s and everything else in between. So what's going to be quite fascinating to see here is that it looks like Maxwell is main deck in Book of Eclipse. It does also look like he's got a Nibiru in his hand, so, and an Imperm. So there's quite a lot of interaction already. It'd be quite interesting to see what type of disruption he lines up. But the benefit of something that Frankie is going to be demonstrating right here is how the Super Heavy Samurais lead into the Centurion without even needing to use a normal summon.
Yeah, this is just like really interesting for me. Pendulum scales, doing the Centurion bits as well. How many of these spell and trap card zones are going to get filled up throughout this game? It's like it's going to be interesting to see. And here looks like we're starting to go off into the first 12.
Yeah, so working our way into Auxiliary here. So this is what you're really trying to do, because Auxiliary is the first kind of bridge 12 that lets you start working your way into cards like the Crimson Dragon and work your way into the other level 12s. But you also need to remember that if you utilize the placement effect of the Emblem Oath, you are going to be locked into Centurions. But the benefit and the really important kind of crux moment here is going to be from the Wake Up Centurion. That's what's really going to start allowing you to work your way into these other synchro plays. And as we've already seen from the extra deck, there is a Firion King Regulus also being utilized in this deck strategy. And then you're pairing that off with these other 12s. There is double Cosmic Blazer Dragon. Like, oh, I am so excited about these synchros.
Yeah, I just really like it because we went Super Heavy Samurai, Centurion, Super Heavy Samurai again, and now we're going to try and get to that Regulus, and then I think we're going to end up probably bridging back into the Centurion right at the end, right? And it's just, I don't know, I really like these types of decks.
Yeah, I like when these decks just flow naturally together. We're going to be working our way into the Sagas. The Sagas is kind of one of the first checkpoints, and what I mean by that is you have your natural checkpoints of Wakashi and the bike and everything else in between, but what you want to try and do with the Sagas is you're trying to stop your opponent getting to Regulus, which is exactly what we've seen here from Maxwell. One very important thing to think of as well is Maxwell will be prepared for, again, the standard lineup in the competitive scene.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no way you're going to be prepared for Centurions, and we're going to be seeing a big Nibiru coming down here, and we still haven't even utilized as many factors as we possibly can do. And this is what I really like. So Frankie was obviously trying to get to protection from Nibiru with the Sagas. We've been able to pair the Nibiru with an Infinite Impermanence to stop that happening, to make sure the Nibiru resolves. And now the next point of call is going to be back to Frankie as to what else he has left in the tank in order to rebuild the field.
Yeah, exactly. And what you can see here, just looking at Maxwell's deck, there's only 4 hand traps as well. So I think that's very, very strong here, because I think if Frankie was just able to keep going like unpressured almost, who knows where that would have ended up.
But this is what's quite fascinating about Maxwell's deck, and I mentioned this with the Book of Eclipse. He's also main in Dark Rule No More, which is a massive out to this particular field that the Centurions will try to present. The one thing that I did learn when I faced against the Centurions is even if you do Dark Rule of their entire field, they still have more to go.
Yep, there's still another rank 12 rating, isn't it?
Exactly that. It looks like we're going to be starting off in the draw phase directly with that Book of Eclipse. So this is going to be met with an Ash Blossom.
I think that's quite unique, actually, because... Oh, we've got another one.
Not when there's another one.
Doesn't matter too much. But I think that's quite a unique way to stop it, because especially with the Ash Blossom there, it's like, do you actually want to waste it there? I guess maybe it is stopping you from doing some more interruptions, but maybe on a card like Ice RYZEAL, like we're just seeing now.
No, straight with an effect Vader. Frankie is not even missing a beat. He knows when he wants to activate the cards, what he wants to activate them on. And this is actually very, very interesting as well, because with the Nibiru is actually a bit more of a deterrent now. Like, it's not helping Maxwell out as much as he would like to. It's not really allowing him to facilitate his rank 4 plays. The double Book of Eclipse, as great as it was right at the start, not looking so great now.
Here either, right? And there's that Emblema there, which is now just going to keep on going.
So Frankie is just, you can tell that Frankie knows this matchup and he's in the zone, because he's just gone, cool, emblem, place, move, go. And yeah, Premier is going to be hitting the field. This is going to be very, very interesting, because the Nibiru token as well, what a lot of people forget is when they give you a Nibiru, or give you a Nibiru token, when you're trimming off monsters of the levels of the Centurions and the attack stats and defense stats, that token's pretty big.
Yeah.
So you're giving your opponent nearly a one-shot winner just in the Nibiru token.
Yeah, so I've already blown away. So game one's already over here.
I think we're just scooping this up. Yeah,
especially going second, because I think if you're pairing the Drone Lockbird with the Perulia, that Vitality doesn't look that bad in my opinion. But again, Frankie definitely knows us way better than both of us here.
Yeah, 100%. I feel there's a couple of flex spots in here. You could go for the risk and reward component of going, right, well, I'll take out the Therion King Regulus because I'm not going first. And they may or may not Nibiru their own field. But I do also feel that you need to be very, very cautious.
Well, already Maxwell's not doing so great here.
Oh, no.
Setting 3 and passing. Frankie decides to keep the Phalanx, isn't it? In going second. Again, I don't think that card's like awful to keep in going second. It can always be an extender in some situations. Infinite Impermanence.
Yeah, so a good trade-off on this Infinite Impermanence, stopping the Primera. We're still trying to work through this one. We still have the ability of the Field Spell. Another Imperm.
Another one.
I think we may see the hat-trick of Imperms here. we could either that or it'd be a Book of Eclipse. I feel that those are both very, very well possible here. But
I'm really hoping we see the fight. Okay, and Ash instead. Okay.
They both, like, Maxwell's got a smile on his face. He knows how this is going. This is going to be a hand trap trade in Central. That being said, Frankie still has the Phalanx in the hand. The Phalanx in the graveyard. 3 hand trap, or 3 cards in the hand. Sorry, 1 set card, and then Maxwell has burnt through 3 cards already. So we only have 2 cards left in rotation, and the 1 set card for Maxwell.
Yeah, exactly. And well, just for now, the Primera Primus, the Synchro Monster, it's not going to be doing too much. Obviously, the Sword RYZEAL top deck, very, very strong here.
Oh, met with the Drone Lockbird, though. That really will just set off. And a Call by the Grave.
Okay.
Wow.
So yeah, it seems like Maxwell was 1 card off playing the game.
Yeah.
In that game 1, unfortunately. Sorry, in that turn 1 even.
And talent. He is showing no mercy. No mercy. So I think Frankie's just saying, let me just check this. Have we got an Ash? No. Okay, the draw's going to happen.
I think I would have liked to see the look at the hand there, just because I think the X is going to do more than enough for the rest of this turn, I'd say. But again, just double checking the Primera Primus. If you're not too familiar, don't hate that as well. Frankie has got 2 cards left in hand. Let's see how optimistic they are about being more Layers of Disruption here.
Yeah, I would like to imagine that those 2 cards in the hand are probably going to be sitting along the lines of maybe a Ghost Spell and the Nibiru. Fetty Veiler could be quite useful here. DD Crow maybe not so. So going for the Duo Drive, we really want that to resolve. That's resolving.
Yep.
So I can only imagine that there is no Effect Veiler there, because that's probably one of the prime...
That's where you're hitting, isn't it?
Yeah, prime ways to stop it. We still... And this is what I still find fascinating, and I can't tell if Maxwell is doing it deliberately now or not, but we still have not seen any Mitsurugi. No Mitsurugi whatsoever. So if Maxwell is able to skate through this round without revealing Mitsurugis to Frankie, it could very well put Frankie in a position of going, wow, maybe he is just on
maybe it's just the pure RYZEAL.
Pure RYZEAL. This is crazy.
How do you feel about sending the Eclipse Twins there and not maybe... I guess it depends if he's playing a second copy of Duo Drive, doesn't it?
Yeah, I feel that I probably wouldn't send the Duo Drive. Definitely want to be using that. Whether they got 2 or not, I don't think it's really worth the risk, and it doesn't allow us playing 2.
But yeah, I mean, either way here, the Node RYZEAL, you're just going to try and like force your way into that second rank 4 here. And at a point where you get
There's
the second
Nibiru,
rank
yeah, yeah.
Nibiru, the primal being.
You usually know as soon as someone conducts their fifth summon, and then the opponent picks on a hand and starts to shuffle, or it makes any movement towards a hand, you're probably going to get a big rock or a very, very good bluff. So, is this going to be a pass turn? Oh, even after drawing all those cards.
And now, if it does go straight back to Frankie here, then it's just a bit like, what's happening here? Because if Frankie's then able to start with stand-up Centurion, again, it's just putting himself in such a good place to just start playing again.
Yeah, exactly that. We still have the Phalanx has got the graveyard effect. I'm trying to remember what one it is.
Summon back a Synchro monster, which again might be really good on that Primera Primus, just to get that level 8 body ahead of Synchros, or further Synchro summons.
Exactly that.
So I think they're just thinking about where they're going next.
It looks like we're going to be using the Phalanx, yeah. There we go. This is normal summon. So that's the level 4 that you needed for the tuner. We're now going to work our way into the levels 12 synchro. Do we go into, go straight for this one, the destruction and the draw. So you're getting a bit more resource. You're getting rid of the token. Nibiru at 3,000.
Again, that's almost game.
65.
Yeah,
that is game. Because Maxwell's already taken damage.
Yeah.
Or unless we're...
So it depends if he wants to try and play a little bit into this Nibiru, potentially. But there is a chance that Frankie may have just forgotten as well exactly where we're at.
Yeah, just trying to see here on this one. I don't think Maxwell's got any interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. I think they're just being reminded of the life points on that one. And Frankie